I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Good afternoon, everyone. This is a Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And for those of you who are just tuning in, you don't know what this show is about. This is a Business Zone where we create a platform where small businesses, entrepreneurship, and supplier diversity come together to create success for small businesses. So, Crystal, what's going on?
Wow, good, busy week. All kinds of stuff was going on in the news. But before I get to the craziness about the news, you our co-host that comes on every now and then, Alicia White Matson.
Yeah.
She was just honored back in Detroit.
Really?
As Woman of the Year. She's got an article in Our Weekly.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, you know, she works for Northrop. So a shout out to Alicia. Congratulations on your award.
Much respect, Alicia.
Much respect over there at Northrop. Doing your thing, girl.
That's
doing
right.
your thing.
That's right.
So, so I just wanted to do that shout out because she's set in for when you haven't been here, and she set in when I haven't been here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my girl. She's the founder of the Bella Network, the organization where women are creating a tribe of support for themselves.
Yes.
And we're having our women's conference in November 3rd to the 5th.
Yep.
So it's going to be pretty fantastic.
I'm loving that.
Shout out, Miss Alicia. We're so proud of you, girl. So very proud of you.
Very proud of you. Keep up the good work.
Someone, Wellene, says, make it rain and still and steady.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Wellene. So, this week in the news
my Lord.
I was talking to my sister and she was saying her blood pressure up. I said it's probably because of what's going on in Washington.
That is true.
I mean, now he done eliminated all the subsidies for the American the ACA, the health insurance. What else did he do? He thought Puerto Rico. No, that was Rick Perry said Puerto Rico was his own country. So my question is this: how did America become so stupid? What has happened? Is it in the water? Too much fluoride in the toothpaste?
I think we're the only ones who went to school. Those politicians, they bought their way through because it sounds like they never had a class of civics in their life, nor geography.
Geography would have been second, third grade. What did they do? Sleep during that class?
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Virgin Island, he made some comment that he met with the president of the Virgin Islands. You're the president of the Virgin Islands, you idiot. I mean, jeez. Oh, my God. But the only solace that out of this week was I was watching some, I don't even know which talk show it was or which, I think it was on CNN. It may have been CNN.
Yeah.
And one of the journalists was having a conversation with this doctor, and she's a psychiatrist. So she and 26 other psychiatrists have come together and written a book.
Really?
And it's called The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump.
Ooh.
And so now normally, and I guess this was a result of Roosevelt, I think, where they couldn't, if they weren't sitting down talking to someone, they couldn't analyze them, right?
Right.
Well, it's at a dangerous level. So they all came together. She got a petition signed of like 63,000 people talking about his mental instability. So I'm listening to it on Audible, but it is as a book as well. Mm-hmm. So here's what they're saying. And my sister and I just had this conversation: could America become like a Nazi Germany?
Right.
And I think the difference is that, one, we're such a diverse grouping of people that might be a little difficult right now to do that. Whereas there, you just had primary color-wise, they were all the same color. Religion or culture.
But maybe two groups, you know?
Two groups, but
so
you got
that's
like...
easier to control.
Right?
Yeah.
And you didn't have, you didn't have outwardly homosexual, LBGTs and all that sort of stuff, right? So, but they were saying Trump, that's not the issue for him. He's not doing this like Hitler was doing it for solidarity amongst the Aryan nation.
Right.
He's doing it for himself in his psychoses that he has. So they didn't
self-aggrandization. That's
right, exactly. So they have like 10 different diagnoses, mental illness diagnoses. But they were saying, here's the problem. They're thinking it was created when he was dumped at a boarding school when he was a kid.
I remember
and
that.
so he's always trying to prove and be bullied and that kind of stuff. And his father was really rough. His mom was really rough.
Right.
So they were saying that the more he doesn't get what he wants, the more crazy he gets, right?
So he feels like a failure.
He feels like a failure. He's out of control, where that's the danger his lack of control.
So right now, because the Democrats are blocking him right now in Congress, and they're not giving him his wall and all those other things, and he's not getting the health care thing passed, so he's going crazy now.
And the Constitution, this week he said the Constitution, what did he say? The founders or the writers of the Constitution were crazy, and they're preventing him from doing what he wants. So now it's the Constitution. So he wants a new Constitution so that people can't tell him no, because I guess every time he comes up with something crazy, they'll go, no, you can't do that. But that's why Chelsea called him a moron, because that means moronic. Hey, Don. So they're saying, and the Republicans now pushing back. So now, I guess last week he was saying he hates everybody in the White House. So now he's feeling like this man on an island by himself, which means... like a bully, what do you do when you're bullying? You're doing that kind of stuff. You're reaching out and throwing things. So the biggest concern is because he can't get his way, then he's writing the executive orders because he can do that. Of course, they can block that on their side because it still has the veto power, right? But then the other side is that button, the nuclear button, because he would rather see things go boom just because, okay, if we can't play, then you know how it's that kid that you played with when you're a kid, and they couldn't win, so they took all the chessboard or the Monopoly and throw everything across the room. That's what they were saying. So that's pretty dirty. Now that part is really scary.
But see, what he doesn't understand is that they've got the 25th Amendment coming at him, the 25th Amendment. That's what's coming at him.
Right.
And that's pretty much what it means. If you're unstable and you cannot lead anymore, then Congress will have to step in and they'll make a decision on it.
But and then they were saying he has those individuals because, again, the dumbing down of America, right? So you have Congress, no matter what and you have his supporters, no matter what he says, what he does, they're like a cult, right? And so they're Jim Jones drinking the Kool-Aid.
It's like it's nothing. He's not doing anything. It doesn't affect them, it doesn't impact them, even though it is.
Right, because one lady asked this one guy, one of his supporters, she goes, and he was, I guess he's a senator. Was he a senator or he just may be a supporter? She goes, well, I'm kind of curious. Do you think if he pushed the button for nuclear war that your family won't be touched?
I don't think they're thinking that far.
I mean, do you understand that your family will be affected by this as well? And even at that point, they're still going. So with that, that's the thing. So that means that we'd have to put up with him until to the elections, the mid-term elections, which is 2018. So that means we got to get everybody in the world to vote. And these dumb Americans, I don't know. We need to put them on an island that says, for dumb Americans.
I think what we need to do first is line up the small businesses and go, okay, you don't vote, and you don't get any funding.
Somewhere, something's got to happen because it's insane. And even people who you think have common sense. Did you see the lady from Apple, the woman that just...
Oh, Sandberg or
the
whatever?
black woman.
Yeah, Goldberg or Sumberg.
Right, and
Yeah.
she said that diversity, 12 white men in a room could be diverse, could be considered diversity.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that was yesterday that came out. She said they could be diversity because they could be blonde, blue-eyed, same type of people, but they came from different cities, and they might...
So because of the cities, they're diverse.
Yeah, right, exactly. And
That's hilarious.
But here's the kicker. She was the director of HR for Apple.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord.
So I think you're supposed to know what diversity means. I told my girlfriend who's in the HR, I said, whoa, y'all need to step up and protest because she's making y'all look bad.
Yeah, maybe she has a different definition there. She has a different definition of what it is.
Yeah, so I had to go on the warpath this morning. I had to everything dumb. I had to kind of no, you guys cannot be this stupid. You just cannot be. And if you did, and if your parents paid for your education, they got ripped off.
Or maybe they skipped school, hung out somewhere in the backyard and came up with their own little agenda. That's probably what it is.
They weren't even homeschooled. I don't even know but they went to private schools.
Yeah,
they were paid. Their schools were paid for.
Yeah, that's right. For those of you who are just tuning in to the Business Zone, this is
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today we're talking about how we're gonna provide access to funding for small businesses. So I really would love for you to call in. Give us a call here at 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. And again, our program, as you know, is a platform to help small businesses come together with entrepreneurship and supply diversity in order to obtain success.
And there we go. So how was your week?
Oh, man. My week. I got so many things on my plate right now, Crystal. It's unbelievable. I've got some clients that I've got to do some contract compliance reporting for. And, we're running on a deadline here on fumes. And then all of a sudden the system crashed.
Oh, wow.
Metro system crash.
Oh, wow.
So I have to wait an extra day, so that kind of messed me up a little bit.
Okay.
And then, we just did those workshops in Central and Northern California for the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce. So now, the people are requesting more workshops. They're loving it.
Now, weren't you in Santa Rosa?
Yeah, yes.
But I don't think there's much left.
As a matter of fact, I was listening to that on the news. I said, "Wow, that's where I was."
Yeah,
Santa Rosa.
Sonoma.
Sonoma.
Yeah, they got hit hard.
They got hit really hard. And already, you see, when I went to do the workshop, I was, talking to the folks, the small businesses. I said, so tell me about your area. What's going on here? What's the population? How many small businesses you guys got here? And what's your primary industry? We know it's tourism because, people go there and, winery and all of that. But they were saying that they're like a closed community. They don't want anyone from the outside coming in because the way it is right now, people come in, they party. All they do is party. They smash the premises and the facilities, and then they leave. And now the residents have to put the pieces back together. So as a result, they try to keep people out. So I said, so how do you guys do business then? They said, well, we do a lot of business with neighboring cities and neighboring counties. So that's how they do their business. But it's 175,000 people they said they have in their population.
Well, so those surrounding cities got hit real hard.
Most of the houses are people who will go there and they vacate and then they leave. So most of those houses were probably unattended because some of the folks are not there.
Where do they go?
Well, they come from here and all over. Santa Barbara,
and Sacramento, and place. So those are like second homes?
Second homes. That's exactly what happened.
They probably had Airbnb kind of situations.
And that's probably why some of those homes are burnt right now to the ground because no one was there to attend to them.
Yeah, because when they said, I was like, wait a minute, wasn't Gilbert there last week? Last month or whenever. Yes. Yeah, last month, right? You spent a lot of time up there. Wow, that's pretty...
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Wow.
So I feel it for for those entrepreneurs and homeowners, and it's just an amazing thing.
Wow. Yeah, they're going to have to do some rebuilding. I don't know what.
They were on the verge of doing some rebuilding because they have this program where you had developers coming in and developing certain parts of the area, the town, but they had an agreement with the city. So with most towns, most municipalities, most metropolitan area, that's how it is. You got developers who come in and they speak with the city, they cut their little deals, and they're saying, okay, we're going to build these numbers of homes. But part of the deal is you got to build so many low-income houses so those low-income individuals can benefit as well. Now, when they don't do that, there's a penalty. So many of these developers prefer to pay the penalty instead of building low-income houses. Wow. So that's what they did in Santa Rosa. They decided, hey, we're not going to build any low-income houses here. We're just going to pay the penalty. You see what I mean?
Well,
City went with it.
Now.
Yeah. You see what I mean? So now they're singing a different tune because of what's going on.
And even Los Angeles has that problem. Yes, last week they just said, and this has not happened in 20 years. They opened up Section 8 back up.
Really?
They have over 600,000 people that are submitting applications, but they only have housing for 2,400 people.
What? That is ridiculous.
24,000 people, but 600,000 people.
That is ridiculous.
For that same reason.
Yes.
The builders and developers are using their own money, so therefore there's no low income. But we got all these people living on the streets, and you see all these big 300-unit facilities. In downtown LA, they're empty.
Yeah, the rule is supposed to be if you come in and you build, say, 100 of these houses, you got to make about 15 or so of those available for low income.
Right.
And they didn't do that.
They haven't done that. That's why you pushed, and then you had those that were apartments that have been converted to condos, and so that's pushed people out. Right. And then they don't want to pay the $15 an hour. No. So now those people can't afford the $1,700 or the $2,000. I mean, minimum is $1,700. So you have families, entire families living on the street, and that's happening all over the world, all over the country. That's so it's like the heck with the little people is all about the 1%ers. So that's now they got a different problem up there.
That's why we got to band together.
That's why we have to band. It's so important for us as a people to take care of our own, because that's a serious issue right there.
That's right.
And we need to be able to get ourselves, and that's why we have to keep having the real conversations about how we get our small businesses funded, because we need to be taking care of ourselves, because everybody else out there is doing whatever the heck they want to take care of their own. But we got to get people to working.
That's right.
And we got to be the ones that's hiring our people to make sure that they have jobs that they can live in a house. I mean, there's only a couple of things that I think God intended us to have was shelter and food.
That's right. That's right.
And we don't have none of that happening right now. True. And I don't even know what this world looks like for our children.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's so far out of balance with the haves and the have-nots. And the have-nots are getting shoved off to the wherever. So, we got to band together. We got to create businesses that are substantial, that we can create hiring and job opportunities for our for our people.
And that's really what we need to do now. I mean, in the past, what we've been doing is we've been providing some opportunities for small businesses, and it's just for those businesses, not to hire folks. Now,
because they're solopreneurs.
Exactly.
They're making just enough to take care of themselves and their family. Most businesses don't have employees. I mean, they're hiring their families and friends, but paying them under the table because they can't afford payroll taxes and so forth. So we need to build bigger, better, more impactful businesses so that can happen.
And if we got to have those dollars circulating around and around and around in the community, then we got to make them sustainable.
Oh, exactly. It's funny, you talk about recycling black dollars. Last week I went to Loyola Marymount to meet with a guy that owns a black publisher, and he's housed out of LMU.
Yeah.
And they're actually having an event this week at Lemert.
Yeah.
Right, Voices of Lemert.
Yeah.
But there was 3 young ladies, college age, and so my friend that brought me there, he said, "Kristen, tell them about Recycling Black Dollars." So I went on to tell him. So before I got started, I said to them, I said, girls, you guys have friends I'm sure your friends are quite diverse. I said, so when you go to your friends' homes, be it whether they're Asian, Jewish, white, whatever, what do their communities look like? And I said, so get a good visual on each one of their communities, the schools they go to, the opportunities that are available for them. And now I said, now come back to your community. And they went. And so then I asked them, did they know how many times the dollar circulated in their community? When I said 6 hours, they almost fell off their seat. Colin just walked away. He's like, what? Yeah. And then how many times it circulates in the Asian community and all the other communities. And so I was letting them know, because that's our new generation. They're the ones that can drive this on a younger level, because these are all college students, right? And going to a beautiful university at LMU. And I said, so now when you leave here, what happens when you go back? One young lady was from Crenshaw, another one from this area over here. I said, so we, as a group of people, have to work to make our communities so that you don't have to stop and think what theirs look like versus what ours look like.
Right. That's beautiful.
Yeah, like so it kind of brought it home. So they want me to come speak at the Black Student Union.
See, now it's got them thinking.
Because we got to have those conversations.
It's got those creative juices going.
Right, you don't, unless we bring it home. And one of the things that happened this week was I was here in the studio, Uncle Bobby's Country Corner, which is a show here at Morris Media. Bobby was very much involved with Muhammad. And so on Wednesday, Muhammad's birthday, October 11th, is Muhammad's birthday. So he was doing a tribute to Muhammad. And that's the conversation we were having is, can we ever get to a place where we are recycling our dollars and we are contributing back into our own community? So that's what we were kind of talking about.
That's great. Did you guys have callers, people calling in?
Yes, we had a couple people calling in. And
I'm curious to hear what they thought. What were they saying?
Well, no one has an answer because we've been at this for 30 years.
Yeah. Got to break that mold.
We just don't have an answer for it.
We got to break that mold. We got to make things happen.
So now maybe. So the other thing that happened this week was Cherie Franklin came over and had a conversation at the RBD Breakfast Mixer about the cannabis industry. Everybody was very, very excited. So we'll get, maybe that might be the answer, being that that's going to be a $50 billion industry here in Los Angeles.
Well, we're going to, help out with the compliance aspect of it. So I'm sure it will be good.
Yeah, but obviously, it's not federally yet, so we got to become creative about how we get people funded, and people are going to have to do some investing and that kind of stuff just to get it going. But once it does, then that could be the answer.
Well, what do they call that? We used to have the gold rush, now they call it the green rush.
It's going to be the green rush. But $50 billion is a whole lot of money.
Yes. Well,
and if it can take care of our homeless, the taxes can take care of our homeless and our mental illness.
Well, you and I got to do our part.
Yes, we do. And job training.
And make it happen. And, try to educate, inform, educate, and inspire. Because that's what this show is all about.
That's what it's all about. A new opportunity, innovative opportunity, disruptive opportunity. So that's what we got to start somewhere, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, I got to start somewhere.
Yes. So it's now 24 minutes after the hour of 3 o'clock, and we've got our special guest in our studio today.
Yeah, Mr. Victor Parker.
We're going to connect him up at 3:30 so he can give us some words of wisdom and some guidance and inspire us and show us how we can tap into some of this funding for small businesses, and so we can start growing and be sustainable.
Yes, we have to be sustainable. Very, very important to me. So where you going tonight, Mr. Man? You all dressed up. Look, everybody in the audience, he all sharp.
I'm in my suit. So one of my clients from the National Latina Business Women Association, well, two of them, the daughter and the mom. They were on our show. Vanessa,
okay.
Vanessa and her mom. She's going to kill me. I don't remember her name. Nora.
Nora? Okay.
Vanessa and Nora. These are just amazing entrepreneurs. You know, came here from El Salvador with like $7 in their pocket. Now they got a $7 million a year business. You know, they provide food service to all the Latino stores. It's just phenomenal. So the mom is having a birthday. I hope she's not listening.
Oh.
Mom is having a birthday today, so the daughter is throwing a surprise party for
nice.
her. Yes. So
That's
she's
wonderful.
Inviting, all the folks, people who have inspired her and touched her life, so.
Oh, I'm so, I was so impressed with them. They were just amazing.
They're phenomenal. These women are phenomenal. I'm trying to get them to become 8A certified. So I want to help them with that as well, because they're doing well in all these other areas. Now we need to get them their 8A certification.
That'd be fantastic.
So they can just take on the world.
Yeah, that's because they are all up. Are they now all up and down the coast?
Oh yes, they got 19 They got 19 stores in San Francisco.
Fantastic.
So they got a contract to supply cheese and beans and papusa and a lot of other products.
Well, that's what Warren Buffett says. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate.
Nope.
It's just the basic stuff that people have to live.
Nope.
You have to live with food.
Nope. And you know how it is. When you come from a certain culture, right, you're used to certain types of food or customs. Mm-hmm. So when you go in a certain environment, you expect to see some of that. And if it's not there, you're going, how can I get it here? Right. Well, that's how they got started. They didn't have the El Salvadorian beans and, the cheeses, the queso and all of that. So they struck a deal with a producer in El Salvador who shipped it for them, and they were able to distribute it around, and then they went door to door. They went door to door and knocked. That's another reason I respect them so much. And then they went door to door, knock, went to the bank. Bank wouldn't even talk to them. They go, guys are not businesses. You guys are a hobby. You don't want to talk to you guys. So once we put them through our program, we did our training with them through a National Latina Business Women Association. We hooked them up with, I think it was Wells Fargo. They got a small loan. And then after that, they see what they're doing. They decide to give them a bigger loan. Then all these banks all of a sudden start, we can help you. We can help you.
Wow.
No. So they bought their building, and it was phenomenal. So they're all ready to go. So
I'm
tonight,
so proud of them. That's so true. I mean, that's why you go to all the Jamaican restaurants to get that home feel.
Oh yes, you got to do that.
Yeah,
you
exactly. Just think about all the immigrants that came here and they just did what they did.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, just the Cubans, the Puerto Ricans, whatever their home meals were, creating manufacturing.
It's phenomenal.
That would be able to satisfy those other people.
It was a mom and daughter coming to this country with just 2 suitcases of clothes and $7 in their pocket. $7.
Wow.
See, my story is a little different. I didn't come with $7. I came with $200. I came at the airport.
So you were rich.
Oh, I was rich. I had $200 in my pocket. Oh, yeah. And when I came, it was snowing. Never had snow before, never experienced it. Right?
That's like the bobsled.
Exactly. So I had $200 in my pocket, so I'm going, okay, I'm going to see how long this $200 will take me. So went out front, saw a cab, hailed the cab and said, can you take me to where I'm going? This is the address. Now, the address was like 5 miles down the road.
Right.
Taxi driver, he jacked me $50.
So now you got $150.
I know I got $150 left. So
you were green from Jamaica.
Oh man! So I have $150, and that $150 is what brought me to where I'm at today. Of course, I met a lot of people along the way who helped me out.
Right.
But now got my home, got my car, got my business. Got all these different things. Went to school, got my degrees.
Wow.
$150. So I'm saying if they can do it with $7 and I do it with $150, everybody else can do this thing.
Yeah. But, I think, when you're coming from countries that your opportunities are really much smaller than what's here, we take for granted what is here versus, where you guys come from.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been to Jamaica and I haven't been to El Salvador, but I've been to other countries in Mexico and other Caribbean countries, and what they're coming from is far less. I have friends from Africa. So when you come, you got a determination. We're a little bit on the spoil side, right?
When you come here, when you're there, it's do or die.
Right.
Because you don't have welfare, you don't have Section 8, you don't have any of those programs to help you. You either eat or you don't eat.
Right, exactly.
You see what I mean?
Exactly.
So when we come here, we know that, hey, it's do or die. And all those social programs that they have, we don't really care about those because we know we're looking for opportunities. So if the job is for $5 an hour, we're doing that. That's why they say Jamaicans, we got 15 jobs, right? Because we get $5 an hour over there, 5, 7.
Right, so you can make up.
We can make it.
I'm sure there's some ancestry in my world, Jamaican ancestry in my world, at least from the African side of it, right?
I'm telling you. That's
even from coming from New York, coming from upstate New York, Buffalo, 10 months out of the year, we have snow that covers buildings. So my mom did things like canning, and in August we would can and be prepared for the winter. We had our dry foods because there could be times we could not come out. So when we did get to come out and there was weather, we had to work hard.
Got to prepare, just like the bears. They're
and a lot of that is where you come. Last night, before we go to break, my nephew, not from the East, they're not from the East Coast, but he was born here. He was saying he works at Five Guys, and I picked him up and I was waiting. It's like 11:45 by the time he got out because so many people have been quitting. And this is his first job, so he don't even understand. He's like, they're not telling me why they're quitting. Am I missing something? But whenever they call, he's been trained well. I'll come to work, right? So he says, I'm on day 6 and I'm working 40 hours and he's part-time, right? So he said, I don't get it. All of a sudden, I'm the old guy, and there's no old people left. I said, that's called seniority. He goes, oh, this is my first job, and I'm not quite sure. I said, well, one thing is you have family that are hard workers. So you go and you do your job. He hasn't called off. When they call him, and he's in there sweeping and doing and working hard, and these young people, these other people, they're coming in, quitting, when it's too much work. And he's like, how did I get to be the senior people?
Well, he's got that value within
we've taught him well.
Core values. So he understands commitment, loyalty, and that's why he stays with it.
Because that's what he only don't know anything else. His father's been at UCLA since he was 19 years old. He's about to retire next year. His mom, my sister's a hustler too. She's real estate. She done Instacart. She works for the tax assessor's office.
Sure, she doesn't have a little Jamaican.
She got a little. And I told her, I said she's a realtor that she literally goes if they're selling a house that the person passed, like right now. She's in there cleaning the house, packing and throwing stuff. So she is like all in it.
That's core values.
And you already know
there.
I got like 10, 15 jobs.
That's core values.
You just
right
gotta
there.
hustle.
Gotta hustle.
So he only knows hustling because that's what we do. We hustle.
Tell him to keep it up. It's gonna pay off.
We're not gonna let him. I said you don't even need to know why they're not there anymore. Just know that when you go back to school, that's our priority for you. So when you get back in school next semester, then your hours will reduce. In the meantime, save all your money.
Do your thing.
Do your thing and do what you got to do.
So we're at the bottom of the hour right now. You're on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. We're going to go ahead and take a break right now and bring in our very special guest that we've been waiting for like 5 months now to get him on our show to tell us how we can, small businesses can tap into some of that financial resources. So we're going to go ahead and take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
So we're back on the Business Zone. This is
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, our phone number here is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. And again, our show is about providing opportunities for small businesses, creating a platform where small business entrepreneurship and supply diversity comes together to provide success for small business. Now, today we've got a very, 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 very special guest in the studios with us. We've been trying to get him for a while now, and Crystal finally wear him down, and he decided to say yes. So we're very honored and happy to have him here. So, Crystal,
you got to be persistent.
Got to be persistent. So, Crystal, you want to tell our fine audience who we've got in the studios with us today?
I most definitely will. I am very honored, and we're very pleased and very honored that we have Mr. Victor Parker. He's the district director of the Small Business Association.
Small Business
Administration, I'm sorry. And Victor, a California native and longtime member of the LA community, Los Angeles community, was appointed to the district director of the SBA Los Angeles district office in October of 2011. And we've been all running across him in our environments and circles because, he got the money.
Oh, yeah.
So he's at every conversation and every conference you go to because he got the money.
He got the money.
But he serves the Los Angeles area, Ventura, and Santa Barbara counties. And as the district director, he's responsible for the delivery of the SBA programs and services to aspiring existing small business owners, SBA lenders, and partners, which include business advisory services, capital access programs, entrepreneurial development, international trade development, and contract procurement assistance. So we are very, very happy to have you here.
Well,
sir.
I am glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome to the Business Zone.
Thank you. We had Joe last week, so this month has been the topic as having real conversation about where the funding is and what our small businesses need to do in order to qualify for that, and also how the only way we can take our community to that next level is to find our way through the maze to get to the capital so that they can create bigger and better businesses.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, one of the things at SBA is we really are looking at 3 different lines of business to really help businesses drive themselves forward. So, we have our capital programs. Everybody hears about SBA loans, but we've also got contracting programs. So those contracting programs are really business development programs. So many people focus on just the contracting part, but you can take those programs and leverage and build capacity to go beyond just the federal contracting. And then we've got the technical assistance and advisory services that we provide. And those are really the folks that are going to be there to help you get prepared. The persistence that Crystal took to find me and get me here is the same kind of persistence you have to have as a small business.
That's right.
You've got to be able to keep driving forward and keep moving things forward in a manner that you're relevant with what's going on in your business. And so you can make sure you're best prepared to talk to that lender, talk to that investor, talk to that contracting officer, talk to the customer. You've got to be able to be prepared, know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Lead with competency.
Got to be ready. Got to be ready. And that's what we do on this show. We work with you small businesses to get you ready. We want to get you business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready so you can go after these opportunities.
And we have to help our business. And you and I are working with the Milken Institute on the PLUM, which is the Partners Lendership
for Lending in Underserved Markets.
And so we can talk about how we can tweak and make some changes because we know that there's an issue.
Absolutely. I mean, I think here in the LA area, one of the things we're very proud of in the SBA in particular, at least I'm very proud of, is the fact that we lent last year $1.8 billion in loans.
Really?
Just in the 3 counties that you talked about, Los Angeles County, Ventura County, and Santa Barbara County.
Wow.
Okay.
The challenge is that we really have to make sure that is being distributed across all type of businesses.
Exactly.
And so what we need to do is back up a little bit, right? We need to take the time to say, if you're looking for a loan, whether you're looking for a $5,000 loan, we'll even go a little bit less than that. Our average micro loan is probably about $4,000 now.
Really?
I mean, the microloan program is a great program to get you started. Start building your business credit. And so you may have to start with that loan and then work your way up. I call it graduating up. You graduate up into what we call our Community Advantage program, for example, that's designed, again, for businesses that are just looking for $250,000 or less. And it's a great program to leverage those folks that are starting their business, or they may have an existing business that may not need quite as much money. And then as you grow into the next set, then you can actually get up to $5 million in a loan. So our loan spectrum goes from basically $50 to $5 million. So wherever you are in your small business journey, there's a loan program designed for you. But you've got to get prepared for it, right? So you've got to kind of take a step back and figure out what you need. It's just like if you're going to get money from, if your nephew comes and asks you for money, you need to know a couple of things that you're going to do on it.
What are you going to do with it?
Exactly.
What are you going to do with it?
Right.
You know, how much do you need?
Yeah.
And when are you going to pay me back?
When are you going to pay me back? Right.
More importantly, anything
Exactly.
else, the bank needs to know the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
The bank needs to know the same thing. So when you're going to approach a bank, you've got to be prepared. You can't go to the bank and say, I need money, and they ask you how much. Well, how much you want to give me?
Yeah.
The loan is over. The whole process is over. So you've got to get prepared. Leverage SBA Small Business Development Centers. Leverage our women's business centers and get prepared. Don't be afraid to go in on the front end and say, I need help. That's what they're there for. Those are your federal tax dollars at work. And so you've got to actually go there at the beginning, lay out what you need so they can help you present yourself in a manner that you're going to be business ready. It doesn't mean that your business isn't ready, but on paper, it's got to look that way. It's just like a resume. Your financial statements is just like your resume when you look for a job. If you come in with a shoebox and a bunch of receipts, that's not going to work.
Not going to help you.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Now, some of the, and we actually had this conversation, we were on a telephone conference last week. A lot of the issues for our community is the collateral piece, right? So how do we address that, and what does that collateral need to look like?
So there's a lot of different things, when you look at a loan, and we really have to kind of move away from traditional brick and mortar collateral type scenarios, because now we've got millennial business owners. I know you all were talking about our young people not too long ago in the show. And so what you've got to do is start looking at how you value, and it could be your computers, that type of collateral. You've got to look at what you can bring in, saving your money. you may not have the actual physical collateral, but you can always bring cash to the table and be a part of that. So, so there are things that you can do to actually leverage that. The other thing that is often as you kind of grow into your business is there are lines of credit, what we call the cap line program, and a lot of times what we do in that one is called a contract cap line. So in that particular case, if you have a contract with a federal agency, for example, you can use that as your collateral. Because we know we're the federal government.
That you're going to be paid.
We know you're going to get paid.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So you've got that leverage, and the federal government, we buy just about everything.
Yeah,
right? And so there are very few businesses that you could be in or industry market sectors that you could be in that would not be applicable. So again, you'd want to take advantage of making sure you get yourself certified.
Right.
I mean, it's free. You can do it online.
Yeah.
And then again, my office is there to help you. And my resource partners that we have, our small business development centers, are there to help you get registered and certified for those different programs.
Well, that's actually valuable information.
That is.
Because a lot of them, I don't think they know that, though.
No. They're just afraid of the whole process, so
the
they
whole
don't
process.
try to learn anything about that. The one thing I want to ask you about, though, is the unsecured, non-collateralized loans. Now, we want to make this very clear to our audience out there. The SBA does not lend money. They're not a bank.
Stole my line. I was just about to I said, wait a minute, before you go too far. I'm the district director. I do not have the SBA checkbook. I can't do that. We're your silent partner. We guarantee the loan.
Exactly. So the SBA does not lend money. Just want you to all know that. So the people who lend or the banks that the SBA they guarantee those funds from those entities if they're they meet a certain guideline. So now with those entities, how does a small business approach the non-collateralized and unsecured loans?
So one of the tools that we have in place now, if you go to SBA.gov, is there is a tool called Lender Match. And Lender Match is, I'm going to say, Match.com for SBA loans.
Oh, I like that.
All right.
I like that.
What happens is you will go in as a business owner and you will answer, it's probably about 10 or 15 questions, I believe, that you kind of answer. And this goes into what I'm going to call a database that our lenders will look at.
Yeah.
And those lenders will then, based on, you've talked about your revenue, you've talked about what you need, you've, how long you've been in business, a little bit about your business, and they will contact you because you fit their appetite. One of the biggest challenges I find in the community is that we tend to go to the bank that's around the corner, or we go, and you'd be surprised. With SBA, I have over 100 plus banks that are SBA lenders, and I guarantee you, if I gave you the names of some of those banks, you've never heard of them.
That's
because
true.
They're small community banks. They may only have 2 or 3 branches. But the point of the matter is, you've got to find the lender that has the appetite for the type of loan or the type of financing that you need. Some banks don't lend to restaurants. That's just not their sweet spot.
Some don't
Doesn't
lend to
mean that you're
construction.
business. Some don't like gas stations. They're different types. So you've got to be able to align with the right bank. That's first and foremost.
Yes.
Secondly, you've got to find the right loan product.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily, everybody doesn't need a line of credit.
Right.
Some people may need to get a commercial real estate loan, depending on the type of business that they have. So again, Lender Match kind of helps what I call avoid lender fatigue.
Right.
Because there's a tendency, and I understand that, you've been turned down a couple of times. You're like, I'm done with this. And that's what we really got to get out to the community.
Happens. They get
frustrated.
They get frustrated. They go to one bank. They get denied.
And they're done.
That's it. Yeah. I'm not doing this anymore.
And so I encourage people, go see one of our resource partners, see our small business development centers. Just like I said, we did $1.8 billion in loans to small businesses. There's money out there. You just got to get prepared for it.
Now, the Lender Match, is it lendermatch.com?
No, if you go to SBA.gov, go to our website, then you would find the Lender Match tool as a part of that.
Okay, SBA.gov. I'll do that.
Never heard of it.
Because I've never heard of it, and I really want to check it out. I have a program called Small Biz Pro. I showed you one time.
Exactly.
Long time ago, but
not that long. I remember. It was good.
It's much better now. So one of the things I'd like to do is to also include that link on my site so that people can know they can go there and find that type of resources.
Absolutely.
You see what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's good. That's
because
good to know.
it's open depending on the lender.
Yeah.
You may get contacted by a lender that's not even headquartered here.
Right.
Because it's for all of our SBA lenders across the country.
The country.
It's just great opportunity to leverage what you've got and leverage technology so that small business owners can actually access capital and get into the right program.
That's great.
Because Gilbert, his area of expertise is the certification, and we're actually going to have a workshop on the 25th of October. And mine's is more startup, but from the financial services side of it. But I have a lot of small businesses. They're just struggling, trying to just make ends meet. Great ideas. There's one for example, Crenshaw Yoga and Dance. Carly has been in the. She bought her building 13 years ago. She was still working as a nurse.
She got it funded through the SBA?
No, she got her own loan and everything, and so she retired. She's been basically using her monies. And she's a yoga studio, but she literally has 10,000 square feet of space at her place.
But she ran out of cash.
If she has to do it small, like she can't come up with a major marketing budget in order to bring people in, where she actually is advertising in magazines, where she in the yoga magazines or Airways or that kind of stuff. So she's got fantastic ideas. She has committed instructors that are doing classes, but in order to really build her business out, she needs like a marketing budget.
Yeah,
exactly.
So she can really. So now it's like pieces. She's doing social media, but not paying for it. That kind of stuff. Where you're only going to reach a small segment of the population, and she's right there at Crenshaw and 54th.
Do you think one of your women business centers or SBDCs can help her?
Absolutely. That would be a wonderful opportunity. We have them, throughout the LA, well, actually all three counties. But our Small Business Development Center, there's one located on Wilshire. That's not too far. Not too far that she can go to. Pacific Coast Regional is one of our Small Business Development Centers, and they do a phenomenal job in terms of, and they actually are also a community advantage lender. So it's a one-stop shop. So you could actually go there as a client to the Small Business Development Center and then walk across the hall and talk to them about the Community Advantage loan program.
Now, what does the Community Advantage program?
So the Community Advantage program is the loan program that's designed for loans that are $250,000 or less. And so it's really designed for those folks that are looking for loans in that loan volume category. Because what we find is many of the larger banks, if you're looking for $500,000, they're more apt to do those loans. However, there is a little bit more of a challenge or a little bit more competition is what I like to look at it in order to do those loans that are a little bit smaller in loan dollar volume. But there's so many businesses in the community. That's all they need.
That's right.
If they had a $200,000 loan or a $150,000 loan, what you're talking about, a marketing campaign, just an improvement to set up their website, to be able to do some online marketing, do some online business transactions, e-commerce, all those types of things, and they could do wonders with a small amount of money.
Because that's what she could use. Because she had some merchandising, retail that she could sell. She does rent out because it's 10,000 square feet. She has like 3 studios, and then she has some other office space. So she rents out to a young lady that has sewing classes. The Metro rents out every week, every time they have a meeting for the train. So they meet there. And then the other classes, I think there's a gymnastics class that's renting out. So she has multiple streams of income, more so probably than for her yoga studio, because again, she hasn't been able to do that expansive reach out without a marketing budget.
We have a women's business center that can also help her score chapters. And actually, we do trainings and different workshops at the SBA district office. It's in Glendale, but we also do trainings for folks, and we incorporate folks from the state. So people out there, you were talking a little bit, people paying payroll taxes and not really understanding how to get their hands wrapped around. And some of it is just not understanding. Not more understanding and having to navigate all the paperwork that goes along with it, right? So we bring in those folks to counsel our small business and train them and provide those workshops for them each and every day. So again, if they go to the SBA.gov website, there is a place on there where it says local resources, and you put in your zip code and it'll give you a list of where all these different things are going on. There's also a calendar for all the different events that are going on within our district here locally that people can take advantage of. We're starting to do webinars now because LA is spread out, right?
Yeah, it is.
And people don't want to navigate traffic, et cetera, et cetera. So we're starting to do more webinars. We have an online classroom for folks that they can leverage some of the online
especially
training
for our
programs.
small business. Sometimes they can't get away from their businesses.
Absolutely.
Because they're solopreneurs, really.
Right.
They don't really have the opportunity to leave.
Exactly.
Right.
They don't have the bandwidth to do that. But they're looking for those resources. So we're trying to find new and innovative ways to leverage technology so we can make sure they get those services.
Right. That's great.
Yeah. So this is good information because a lot of times I have small businesses that I'm working with, and they're like, well, how do I grow? What do I need to do to grow? And I don't have the monies. And you really don't want them to use their own personal credit because you got to pay that back too.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're not getting enough of it. That's just a credit card charge here or there.
Yeah.
And that's not enough to really take it to that wherever it needs to go in order to make an impact.
Exactly. And with our microloan program, that's one of the things that a lot of businesses have taken advantage of is where you can go in and get $5,000 to this milestone, and there's technical assistance or counseling advice that goes along with it. And then once you hit that milestone, then you can get the next $5,000. And so then you're starting to grow that business credit, to your point, so they can kind of wean themselves off of the friends and family fund, as I like to call it. Or the credit card fund.
Which just keeps the door open.
Right, exactly. It's keeping you above water at best. At best, right?
At best, right. It's not taking you anywhere. Unless you're in a service business, then you can create other contracts.
So I have a personal question I want to ask you because this is for my own edification. I'm in the technology space. So I know that the SBA has a program within the SBIR space. So I just want to know how could other businesses, including myself, tap into the SBIR. And, I'm sure you're going to tell them what SBIR so they know what it is.
Oh, you're giving all these government acronyms. You sound like a true government employee.
I was.
The alphabet soup. That's what it is. I can tell it flowed off your tongue too easily. I knew something was up.
So, if you could tell us a little bit about the SBIR program and how you think that my company could tap into that, because I have a technology program that can help small businesses. We're doing workshops with them all the time to get them business ready and contract ready and bank loan ready. So Exactly. If you can let us know.
So SBR is Small Business Innovation and Research Program. Yeah. So that's what it stands for. So basically SBA is the managing federal agency over the 11 other agencies that actually have innovation and research type programs that they will leverage and will actually fund. Right. So whether you're in the prototype stage or whether you've already developed your particular product or service and then you're going to link that back into the community, that's the design of that program. So the Department of Education, the Department of Army, the Commerce Department, there are several. There's 11 of them that are listed there that will be able to get you certified and to get you looking at where those opportunities are.
I would love to participate in that because this program, I see it helping so many small businesses.
It is absolutely. That is one of what I like to call one of the sleeping giants.
Yes.
So many of our businesses that are, maybe in retail and, in industry sectors, but here, particularly in Los Angeles, we have opportunities. Department of Agriculture even has SBIR related projects that they're looking for folks. So folks that are looking to grow things, particularly Ventura and Santa Barbara County, where that would be absolutely an option for them as well.
Oh yeah, this would be perfect for you and I, Crystal. We get involved with Small Biz Pro and that, and we can help a lot of these small businesses get them really ready.
Right, exactly.
When they go after loans, then they're actually ready and can perform.
Right, exactly. And so, in fact, at UCLA, we just had our SBIR Road Tour that was held at UCLA, and our folks from Washington, D.C. came out, met with a lot of different groups. We brought in those actual agencies and kind of gave you what those proposals need to look like. Right. And so we can help you with that. There's a proposal you have to submit, and there are folks on my team, as well as our Small Business Development Centers, Women's Business Centers, and the SCORE chapters that can help you prepare and get that application in.
Oh, I would love that.
No, that'd be fantastic.
It's a great opportunity.
Because the Small Biz Pro crosses so many different, from the certification to regular businesses, nonprofits where they need to maintain their
compliance records. Also with the SBA 8A program, once a firm gets certified, that annual review,
Yes.
this helps them tremendously because all their documents are all in one place, so they can just access it.
That is so crucial.
Yes.
The 8A annual review process is so crucial. It's a great 9-year business development program
Yes.
for folks that don't know about
Yes.
it. But the key to that is you've got to make sure that we're maintaining and that we are aware that you're actually growing.
Yes.
It really is a business development
Yes.
program. So we look at your tax returns every year. We look at
The
how your
marketing
sales
plan.
are doing, your marketing plan.
Yeah.
And I personally have to actually sign every single one of those every year.
Yes.
So I take a tremendous amount of time to look at those. So having them organized, thank you very much.
Yep, yep.
Because I have to go through all of those.
Yeah.
But the important part about that is at the end of that 9-year period,
Yeah.
you graduate from the program, which is
Right.
great. But halfway through, we're engaging in other supplier diversity, quasi-government programs, getting you into the private sector, so you're not dependent upon
Right.
those federal contracts that were awarded to you.
Right.
Because what often happens is people that are successful in the 8A program in particular, they get a little complacent.
Yeah.
You get a couple
Yeah.
of nice government contracts,
Right.
life is good.
Yeah.
But at the end of that 9-year period, you lose that certification because you've
Exactly.
graduated,
Yep.
which is a good thing. But
Yep.
now you've got to compete with a little bit bigger group of folks.
Right.
So you need to be prepared for when that business is not as flowing from the 8A program as it was
Right.
before. So, whether you're talking to the private sector, whether you're talking to other local municipalities and getting on their certification program, this program will help propel you into any of those different markets on the private
That's
side as well as
phenomenal.
quasi-government.
That's phenomenal.
And that's fantastic because that's what we need for the Small Biz Pro.
That's exactly what we need, and I'm definitely going to reach out to you and your office,
Yes.
Victor, and because we got to get this going because it's ready. Even Roberto Barragan,
Yes.
he loves it. He's going, oh, let's do it. So
Right.
we'll see. So at the top of the hour right now, so why don't we go ahead and take a quick break and
Sounds
come
good
back
to me.
because Mr. Parker here, he's got some great information. We're just eating it up like a sponge.
Sounds good.
So you're on the
Having fun.
business
well
zone.
worth the wait, huh?
You're on the business zone with
Crystal?
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today we've got a very special guest in the studios with us, Mr. Victor Parker, the SBA Regional Director. And he's got some great resources. I know. He's got some great resources for small businesses today. If you're a small business and you're out there listening, or you're watching on your cell phone, or you're watching at morrismedialive.com, please give us a call right now. Tune in. Our phone number is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. Any questions that you may have on loans, running a business, growing a business, getting into those women's centers, give us a call. Mr. Parker is ready and waiting to answer those questions.
So, Victor, let me ask this question, because we were kind of talking about certification, and you were doing some of that, and you talked to SBIR. For our community, when we talk about how do we leverage our community, I'm sure you heard me having that conversation. I was here, this week was Muhammad Nazardeen's birthday, who's the founder of Recycling Black Dollars, and next month we're doing a whole month to contribute to, well, actually, it was the passing of his death on October 11th, and we're doing a whole month of celebration and tribute to him next month for his birthday. But, you know, Muhammad started this organization 30 years ago to change the economic status in our community. And, you know, 30 years later, we're still here at this conversation. So we really do need to create some way that businesses are making a bigger impact.
Absolutely.
And so, and Gilbert and I have had this conversation, and certification seems to be or could be that vehicle to make that happen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, I think that one of the avenues that there are a couple of programs on the federal side and even locally that I think people really need to take advantage of. So first and foremost, you know, it costs you nothing. And that's what I want to make sure people recognize. Mm-hmm. To become certified as a small business with the federal government, it does not cost you a dime. Right. So please contact our office. Mm-hmm. Please go to sba.gov or contact my office directly, 818-552-3201, and have us actually walk you through with that process. It's online. Folks are out there. There are predatory folks out there. I hate to say it, but that's the reality. And they're telling you that they need to be able to charge you all this money, and it does not have to cost you any of that money. So take advantage of those certifications. Get certified with the county. Right. They've got some great programs now, incentives for small businesses to make sure that county contracts are being awarded to small businesses. They're doing some great work with them. I've been meeting with the LA County Small Business Commission, and talking to them about the different certification programs and how they can make sure their contracting dollars available for small businesses. One of the challenges that we've got to take advantage of right now is we've got a lot of infrastructure going on right here in our city.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got the airport infrastructure changes that are coming. We've got Metro. We've got the football stadium. We've got the soccer stadium. Those are business opportunities, and the Olympics are coming. Get prepared. This is our time to take advantage of the small businesses and the small business communities that we have here. And so being certified, having that information to actually register yourself with your local municipality, with the county, and with the federal government. Another great sleeping giant, as I like to call it, is the Hub Zone program. It's a great opportunity for the community. The Hub Zone is a historically underutilized business zone, another government acronym. But the key to that is it's based on census tract, right? So they're looking at low, moderate income census tracts. So the requirement is that the business be located in a Hub Zone. That's how you become a Hub Zone certified business. But to the economic development and job creation portion of it, what many people don't realize is if you are a Hub Zone certified business, you are also required to hire a percentage of your employees who must also live in a Hub Zone. So we are actually, to your point that you mentioned earlier, Crystal, not only are we creating a business in our community, but you are also making sure you're hiring from the community. Now, those folks don't have to live in the same Hub Zone. They just have to live in a Hub Zone. So there's a difference. You don't have to be living in the exact same Hub Zone. I mean, LA's got a lot of Hub Zones.
Right, exactly.
And we like to commute. That's all we do here. We love to commute.
That's right.
So it is a phenomenal opportunity for Hub Zone businesses to create jobs, to drive our economy forward, and improve our community.
Right.
And so how do we go about referring so they just need to go to the SBA to their website and
I think there's a button that says Hub Zone when you click on it.
Yes,
and it gives you all that information on it.
And I think and we've had this conversation when we've done the Plum initiative conversation, is that and I have a couple of business clients of mine. They are certified, but once they get certified, they don't know what they're supposed to do with it. It's like there's some miss stuff there. Yeah. How do I respond to an RFP?
How do I reach out to contracting officers?
Officers. I know a couple years ago there were some matchmaking opportunities. I think Metro did them, did a couple of them. I know some of the corporations do it from the procurement side. But how do they get into that circle where they actually can find out what the opportunities are? Or do you guys have workshops on forecasting and budgeting and those kind of things?
Absolutely. So each of our small business development centers and our women's business centers, they provide counseling workshops and opportunities for those businesses to kind of teach them how to go and look at the different websites that indicate what the forecasts are coming, how the forecasts are coming. And then we also bring in contracting officers. We bring in those folks to tell you, this is what I'm looking for, and help them to start building that relationship with contracting officers, with the procuring agencies that are going to be providing those contracts going forward, right? Because too often, and Crystal, you're absolutely on point, I get phone calls every week that say, I'm 8A certified. Nobody's called me.
Right.
They're not gonna happen. You've got to market yourself, and I can't emphasize enough. Lead with competency. There are some tremendous businesses out that they haven't really positioned themselves to let folks know what they do.
Yeah.
We're always so fast to say we're certified, which is great. That's value add. But we've really got to make sure that we're doing a much better job of talking about what our accomplishments are, what our skills are, and what our services are that we're providing. And so doing that and building those relationships with contracting officers, we bring them into our office for you to meet with them. There are different matchmaking events that the small business development officers of those procuring agencies are also mandated to do. So that's another great resource. So it's about taking the time to do your homework.
Okay.
You've got to do your homework and figure out, okay, what agencies or procuring agencies am I going to target? You've got to approach this strategically. And we've got advisors and counselors that will help you do that if you need help doing that. But you've got to take a step back and approach them just as if you were going to approach a non-government entity.
The last time I checked, Victor, there were about 24 different federal agencies that provide opportunities within the 8A space and the business development programs. That
there are some great opportunities to do that. And then a lot of our quasi-government folks are looking for 8A certified companies as well. I mean, Northrop Grumman, they're looking for Hub Zone. I mean, they call me all the time. I need Hub Zone folks. I need veteran certified people. I need folks that are small business certified, women-owned businesses. So there are so many different opportunities that we just don't take advantage of or we kind of overlook because it looks daunting. And I realize it looks daunting. But again, we're not going to bite, I promise. Staff is not going to bite. They're not going to bite, I promise. Take the time to come in, and I know it's tough. I know it's tough to get away from your businesses. It's hard. You're running your business, and it's hard to do that. But we have Government Contracting Classroom Online. It's called GC Classroom Online. It's a great opportunity for you to learn how to navigate and how to
It's government what?
GC Classroom.
Okay.
They call it GC Classroom. It's a part of the SBA website. But that is a great tool that folks can do in the evenings, while the kids are doing homework and all that good stuff. You can be on your computer taking those training classes and learning a little bit more about how to navigate the government contracting space.
There was a young man that I had met. I think I was at a Vermont Slauson event, and we were having a conversation, and he was in the space where he had a cleaning business, but a commercial, and he had told us that, or he told me that he did. He had UC Irvine and some other schools, and so my brother-in-law happens to be the facility manager at UCLA. So every time the students move out, especially the graduate students, there have this major cleaning thing going on, and it's like 800 units at within a 10-day period, right? So I had referred him over to my brother-in-law because it was a direct referral. The chancellor happened to be walking by. He says, well, you know, Otto, if you think he will work, then let's give him a try. So we'll give him a try. We'll try it out with a $50,000 contract. So my brother-in-law told me he got it. I reached back out to the guy. I said, so look, if you need some assistance helping you pull together some subcontractors, because 800 units in a 10-day span is quite daunting. So let us help you find some people that you can have as subcontractors. And so I sent a couple of people over there. But again, he was so overwhelmed with the process that he did such a horrible job.
He dropped the ball.
And he dropped the ball. I mean, and he didn't have enough people. He had no idea. And the other thing was, he didn't know how he was going to pay them because, of course, it's a 90-day time frame. And so he was trying to go with less people so he wouldn't be caught in
when you do government
crosshairs.
Contract, that's one of the first thing you got to make sure is in place. Payment.
Right.
You cannot owe your employees.
Right. So
and you've got to look at those contracts in advance. You know, talk to your procuring officer, the contracting officer. If you know, if it says that you're not going to get paid for 120 days and you know that's not going to work for you, don't wait till you sign the contract, because I know the dollars look good. No, fix that on the front end.
Right. So are there programs or there vehicles for that
you
bridge?
You can negotiate. Yeah, you can negotiate that. Don't think, you know, it's federal government. They will negotiate.
Yes.
Okay.
They will negotiate.
That's one of the things I learned at Edison. They said everything is negotiable.
Everything is negotiable. If they are ready to offer you the contract, they want to give it to you.
Yes.
And they're not going to
make you fail.
They're not going to. They don't want you to fail. That procuring agent does not want you to fail. Trust me. So they're going to work with you to make sure you're successful. Right. And SBA is going to do the same thing.
Right. Yeah. So that's and those are the kind of things that I've seen that happens to some of ours. They don't know how the whole picture works. Right. And wow, I got awarded the contract. Well, okay, now what? Right. And for our community, of course, is all about that collaboration, the understanding to reach out to X, Y, and Z that already have your subcontracting group in place, so that you can find out and help each other be able to be successful.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what, I mean, in the industry, I mean, you know, we have government cars, for example. Guess what? They break down. We don't get an opportunity to run to the nearest Ford dealer. We have to go to an actual garage and get it fixed.
Right.
You know, whether it's body work or whatever the case may be. In fact, we had a problem with our government car, and we found a GSA, a federal certified supplier, right here on Crenshaw.
See?
When we had to go get it fixed. He fixed, and the car was a mess, but he fixed it. It was great. But what I'm saying to you is, you know, don't be afraid of, you know, thinking that, well, if I'm not in construction, or if I'm not in manufacturing,
they don't know that.
That's not, there's no opportunities for it, and that's just so far from the truth.
That's true.
Body shop right down the street. I think it was right next to where the car wash used to be. There's not too far from there, and it was a great experience. They fixed it on time. The guy kept me abreast of what was going on with it. He got paid. It was a great experience. But again, most people in my office, I was taunting everybody. Said, "Why are you bragging at the car break?" I was like, it had nothing to do with me bragging about the car break. I was so excited
that
to find
someone was
that
available
we had
to do that.
A minority-owned business in the community on Crenshaw that was authorized to fix the government car. I was like, we are good to go.
That's a shame. Small little things like that.
You know, it made me. I got so excited. I was happy.
Now, we talked a little bit about the SBA programs. We talked a little bit about the HubZone program. Can you talk to the audience a little bit about the 7A program?
Sure.
So they can know what that's about.
Right. So the 7A program is again, it's kind of what we call our flagship loan program.
Yeah.
So the 7A program will lend money up to $5 million.
Yes.
So you can use that to buy inventory. You can use it to hire employees. You can use it to develop a marketing campaign like we talked about before. Again, we don't lend the money directly, but we have about 120 active lenders
who participate in the program.
Participate as a 7A lender.
Yeah.
And so it's a great opportunity. Depending on the type of program, there's some sub-programs within 7A, like the Community Advantage program that we talked about earlier. There are programs for veterans. There are different types of programs. But the great thing about it is we provide a guarantee. Sometimes it's, depending on the program, it's 70%.
Wow.
I mean, so if we, 50, 70%, and then if it's an export loan, which is a little different, there's even a 90% guarantee.
Wow.
So what happens is, if, heaven forbid, you default on the loan, the bank knows that SBA, your favorite uncle, Uncle Sam, is going to pay that 70%. So what happens is, if you may not have as much collateral as we talked about earlier, or you may not have the cash flow, there's certain things that you may be missing from a conventional standpoint, that bank is going to be now more in line to actually provide that loan to you because they know we've got the guarantee and that we're going to guarantee it for you. So it's a great opportunity to get financing for folks that may not have their financials as strong. They have to look. You have to have it out there, and you have to understand your financials. That's the other thing that's really, really important. If you are in a business that has some nuances that may be unique to that particular industry, you've got to be able to explain that. I had a client that came into our office who actually sold school uniforms. And so the name of his business, you really wouldn't have known it was school uniforms until you actually looked into it. But he wasn't, and what his glitch was is that obviously after, in the summertime, he's busy. But he got a little slow, particularly after Christmas. So after, January, he has a real downside. And then on top of it, he's got to get inventory ready, though, for the following year. So because of those ebbs and flows, he did not know or understand his financials well enough to articulate that to the bank. Once the bank understood that, then it's, okay, well, we can then give you a line of credit to kind of bridge you in between so you can get your inventory in so you're ready. So when those parents are coming to go buy those school clothes, uniforms, they're ready to go. So it's about understing your financials and understanding
I think that client, I actually did his financials for him.
Did you finally do them? Okay, good deal.
I think if we're talking about the same person.
And probably it's a small world.
Yeah, it's a small world. I think I did his financials for him. But he also had some other uniqueness, which again, unless you're kind of a visionary or you're in a coaching like Gilbert and I, you only are kind of tunnel vision, right? So you don't see the other capacity that your business could have. Because really, if you're in the school uniform business, you're kind of like in the fashion industry, right? So you have a season. But what happens off season? That you're in production, really, right? So you're getting ready. But he also, I think it was unique by him, it's the same person, he owned all his own equipment. And he could do engraving and so forth and designing for other industries and other people that he didn't have to be, all his income did not have to be derived.
So it's kind of like a co-packing type situation.
Right, but if you don't see that, it's like, wow, because when I first went in, I went, whoa, you own your own sewing machines, you own your own engraving, you own your own this.
Which is rare. That's
you
rare.
could be doing all of the engraving for the sports team. For all of that sort of stuff. So that's another stream of income. But a lot of our businesses don't recognize what other streams of income that they can have, right? Because if that's not what their business model was, then they're just focused on that business model.
Exactly.
And if they could come to an entity that they're looking for loans, well, okay, this is my core of my business, but like Carly, okay, my core is instruction and dance and so forth, but I own this property and I can rent out space. And I rent it out to the industry. I rent it out here, so I derive like $20,000 a month in revenue here. But this is my core business, and I'm trying to grow this core business.
And see, that's the thing they need to be able to articulate.
Right?
Exactly, they've got to be able to explain, and they've got to be able to be receptive when those suggestions are also coming in. I know we've had folks that have come in that have that are in doing hair. You know,
Right.
and the whole beauty supply piece of the house. So it was about, okay, you've got, just renting out the booth space and doing that for those folks. But the other part of it is you could actually start selling the hair products of different folks or being a distributor and supplement that income.
Right.
Well, in other communities, that's exactly what happens. And it's interesting that you brought up that industry because I'm on a campaign about that particular industry because of the amount of money that's generated in that industry.
Absolutely.
But, one of the big things about the rail project, the Metro Rail project was there are a lot of mom and pop beauty supply, beauty stylists and barbers up and down Crenshaw that just barely making it, man, just barely. And Ken Hicks has been working with them with the Metro Project, and we had a workshop. He was having these lunch and learns, and we were talking about that was retail. Why aren't you guys selling retail? Because when you're not having the people come into the shop, and in the female business is like retail and hair and product and Jesus, all the stuff. And now we're actually having that conversation. I don't know. Do you know Ken Williams? He's the director of the University College Beauty College.
I know you're talking about.
He's right down here. Right?
Yeah, that's
right down here, and he's getting a new location. He's expanding and going to be in Inglewood now.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, he's going to be across the street from KJLH.
Oh, awesome.
And so one of the things I'm having that conversation with him is they need to add a business acumen program to their stylist program because those individuals are business owners.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not just hairstylists and not just barbers. They are in business for themselves. So they need to understand how to run a business.
Absolutely.
And then and one of the things we're talking about is once that happens, being able to position these people so that they can buy beauty supply stores that are now becoming available because a lot of the Korean business owners that, they monopolize that industry, but their children don't want to go in that industry. So now they're in a position where they're needing to sell. We need to be in a position so we can buy.
Exactly.
And then run our hair salons out of a beauty supply store.
Exactly. That's
so we need to, and I'm having that conversation with them, and I just sent them, they were on the show, and we talked about it. And then about last week, Roland Martin on his News One, they had that conversation.
Wow.
There's a guy out of Atlanta. His name is Dr. Robinson. He did that in Atlanta. They now own 92 beauty supply stores.
Wow.
And he educates them in his institute because he's that's what he does. It's called the Business Beauty Institute. Then he finds investors and purchase existing businesses,
right?
And then he puts his people in the store.
You bring a good point because there is an appetite now to buy existing businesses. So for those of you that have that entrepreneurial spirit, there's nothing wrong with you buying an existing business. It still makes you a new business owner. It still keeps that entrepreneurial spirit. So looking at that as an opportunity as well.
Right.
I mean, so often, we'll find folks that they make the best pies at Thanksgiving and all that good stuff and all the holidays. Yeah. And so then they want to go open up a bakery, but they've never owned a bakery. They never worked in one. They never understand the dynamics of it. But if you've got an existing bakery, as in this particular example, where you've got
the blueprint already there,
where you've got the infrastructure, you've got some people with the intel,
the know-how,
to deal. You can bring in that entrepreneurial spirit into that environment,
exactly,
and you can propel that business to the next level.
Yes,
right.
And that's the kind of thing that we have to look at all of our options and figure out the best way to approach that.
That's one of the ones. So when he opens his They have homework. So he's going to get his school open, and then we're going to sit down and have that conversation. So maybe we can include you on that conversation so we can identify, get them educated, but identify some individuals that are positioned that could qualify for a loan to be able to buy the salons and then, work out something.
Project. That's a
great
strategy.
Because that's a $7 billion industry, and we make up black women make up 95% of the consumer base.
Exactly. I mean, and we find that we have what we call our Emerging Leaders Program. I don't know if you've heard about it. The Emerging Leaders Program, it's we call SBA's MBA, if you will. But it's about a 7-month course. It's about 100 hours of coursework. But it's designed for those businesses. You may have a great business, but to your point that you mentioned earlier, Crystal, we teach them the part about their business that they haven't really looked into. We talk about
core values.
We talk about how to hire people. Making sure you hire the right people, with your culture, with your mindset.
Right.
We talk a little bit about contracting opportunities. We bring in the contracting officers. We bring in the finance industry. We bring in bankers for them to actually talk to and make pitches to. It is a great opportunity for you, regardless of what industry you're in, to get some. And again, it's free.
Right.
Now, how do they qualify for this one?
So as long as you've been in business for 2 years,
okay,
and you have a minimum revenue of $400,000,
okay,
then that's all the real qualification that you have. And then it's just a matter of, unfortunately, we don't have that many spaces. We usually have about 20 spaces.
So it's 20 spaces. Okay.
And so I've been able to articulate in a manner to Washington, D.C., where we actually have 2 cohorts now in Los Angeles. So I actually have 40 spaces.
Okay.
They figured out they might as well go ahead and give me the spaces. What I did the very first year, we had so many applicants. We had probably 125 applicants or something of that nature. When the very first year we did it, I only had 18 spaces. So in SBA, there are 68 district offices around the country. So I went and called, I can't remember which one, it's probably Minnesota or somewhere. They couldn't fill all their 18 spaces. I said, I'll take your 2 spaces you couldn't fill. So that's where I got more spaces. So since I started brokering with my other colleagues, they decided they would give us some additional ones.
That's good.
But the real main story to that is really, take advantage of these entrepreneurial education programs. That education that you can leverage to grow your business is going to be so critical, because that's going to take your actual business data and apply it with professionals that are going to be able to say, no, do this, you can do this, tweak it that way, add this, and you look at this line of business that you could also incorporate into your business. It's so many different avenues that you can explore when you have that opportunity.
Yeah, we have to definitely get that information out. And even to get them up, what Gilbert and I do, we can get them up to this space.
Level.
To this level, and then be able to have, now we're going to move you over here. So then you
Vanessa, that you were talking about earlier, is a graduate of that program.
That's what I was just going to say.
She's a graduate of that program. She did she came in and was she learned all the different things that she hadn't really thought about to grow. And then she actually, to get the warehouse, she used an SBA 504 loan program to get that building.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah, she did so
it's possible.
well. Yeah. I'm just so proud of those 2 ladies. They're like my kids. We had them on the show like about 6, 7, 8 months ago.
Actually, a year ago, because remember I was in. I was at the PNC last year, so it was a year ago that they were on. You should probably to have them back while I'm here.
Yeah, we got to bring them back. We got to bring them back.
Because I was out of town that year. So we're going to take another quick break, but I have a question to ask, because this was at the tail end of a conference call we had a couple weeks ago. We were talking about collateral and maybe helping our business owners get into owning their business, and then they would have collateral when we look at expanding their business. So
you mean the building?
The building, yeah. Right. I'd be like to have that conversation to see how we could navigate that, because we gotta, just like you just got on the phone and start calling around to your other colleagues, we need to be able to change the mindset of our businesses so that we get them in the mindset that we have, the entrepreneur, because that was an entrepreneurial move. That's what we do, right? So we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Okay, thanks.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Caught Gilbert midstream.
So we're back on the business. We're having lots of fun here. Lots of fun. This is great, man. Having Victor Parker on this program is tremendous. He's a wealth of information. So we're just picking his brain, trying to get all this stuff. We only have 30 minutes left, so we're going, okay, he's got a lifetime of information. We want to do it in 30 minutes.
Right, exactly. Get as much as we can. So before we went away to break, you and I were on a conversation with the Plum Initiative, and at the very tail end, I don't even know if you were still on the call, someone, I think Aaron had made a comment, are we focusing too much on those individuals that could purchase their building and loans for that, and not enough on the microloans? But one of the conversations was, what if we flip the switch? Because we have a lot of business owners that have been in their businesses for 20, 30, 40 years.
But they don't own the building.
And they never owned the building.
Yeah.
Never knew that they could even buy the building. Mm-hmm. But it became very evident during the Metro project. Mm-hmm. A lot of them did not have a say-so. Right. Even though they had been like long-term leases in that building.
Exactly.
So how can we, maybe it's an educational process. Maybe RBD can do a program on how do we educate our businesses that have the longevity into how do they buy that building.
Exactly. And one of the things, and we find it on both ends, even on the leasing side, is folks, when they start this leasing process for their business, they think it's like leasing an apartment. Mm-hmm. And commercial leases are a completely different animal from a residential lease. Yeah. So first and foremost, if you are in a lease, that's okay to get started with. Yeah. But I again encourage you before you sign before you sign that lease. Yeah. Again, go to one of our small business development centers. There are attorneys on staff. They can't represent you, but they can certainly translate that document for you, because there are things in that document that you probably don't realize you're signing that will impact you on the commercial side. So first and foremost, I couldn't resist when you mentioned that. Now, because so often it's when the lease starts to, when they've raised the rent, or at the end of the, there's some kind of clause in there, and then they come and say, well, what is this? So it's a little bit too late. The other thing that we do from an SBA perspective to really encourage what you're talking about, Crystal, which is that ownership of the facility in the building is what we call our 504 program. And the 504 program is administered by SBA certified development companies. We call them CDCs, but they're certified development companies. And what they do actually is they work with an actual lender. They put up part of the money, they cover part of it, the lender covers part of it, and then you put up a part of it, and then you can actually own that building. But the key is you can also have a tenant in that building. So you don't have to occupy the entire building. So what we have found is that a lot of businesses will buy a space that they're intending to grow into. But what they do, as long as you own or occupy, operate your business, 51% of it, the rest of it you can lease out. So therefore, again, you can generate
some revenue.
So it's another stream of income.
And that could help to offset the mortgage.
It offsets the mortgage. As you change and expand your business, you may grow out of that.
Wow.
You may grow out of that building
See, I like
and need
that,
another
Crystal.
building.
I like that.
You can grow out of that building and you still own it. So if you expand your business and go get another building somewhere else, you still keep that. You rent out the whole thing. You still got another stream of income, right?
Exactly.
So we've really got to educate folks that there are programs that will allow you to own your buildings. And so many, depending on the industry right now, a lot of these places, even these industrial parks that they're setting up in different areas. I know there's some in Carson and there's a lot in Compton in that area. A lot of those now are converting over, just like they did the apartments. They're converting to they're the industrial condo is what I call it.
Exactly.
And so those are great opportunities for smaller businesses. They're 3,000 square feet or they're different unit sizes that they can really leverage. And using the 504 program is a key example of doing that.
Yeah, because that's Lamert has that issue.
Exactly.
Right? That's a very unique, and now they have no say so. And with communities being gentrified, you need to have a stakeholder. You need to be a stakeholder so you have some rights to say yay or nay when your community is changing. Here in Crenshaw, the Windsor Hills View Park area, that's been a big issue because only a handful of them own their own buildings.
Exactly.
And so they got dislocated, and some of them had to be run out of business, mainly because, and it's sad that you have businesses that have been around for 20, 30 years, and all of a sudden they got to close up their doors because that's it. They have no money. We're just coming off the back of a recession, so they had no money really to go in and relocate. That's it. They're done.
I mean, and that's when it comes into it's very cliche, but location.
Right. Exactly.
And so when you are, we have so many pillar businesses that are in the community, and then if they are unfortunately put in a situation where they have to relocate, that has such a tremendous impact, like you said, Crystal.
Right.
I mean, where I've driven up to some of our businesses and trying to find them. I said, what happened? Where did they go? And they've had to, in order to be able to afford the rent, they've had to move so far away from that pillar location.
Right, exactly.
And I'm like, all right, you're going to make me, but some of the restaurant, I love food and food.
Exactly.
I will follow you. I'll drive to 20 miles. It's no problem. But it happens.
See, that is the point I was going to raise also with many of the small businesses because, yes, they open these restaurants or these fine, dining places, and they're there for a year. They start making tenant improvements on the facility, start fixing it, even though they only have a lease.
Right.
And the landlord is just sitting back going, okay, go ahead and fix it up because I'm seeing increased value here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask for an increased rent. If you can't pay, then we'll release it to somebody else.
Right.
So that's how you see those restaurants moving from one location to the next. And it just hurts their brand. It hurts their business.
Right. But a lot of it don't know. There's a young man that just opened up a restaurant right on Slauson and West Boulevard. It's called Grill Fresh. It's right there on the corner, across the street from the car wash on Slauson. So he wants to, and he will be one. I think I have actually referred him over to Vermont Slauson, but he wants to be able to purchase the building. There's a smoke shop on the backside, and he wants he's been given first right of refusal.
Okay,
but he probably needs needs some
the funding
right. in order to do that.
He probably needs some funding and some education.
Right, exactly. The food is amazing.
Yeah. See, right there, you got me. I'm sold. I think the 504 program would be exactly
perfect for him.
So many people have been able to leverage that, where they've been able to expand.
Yeah.
Once they've bought it.
Yeah.
There was a restaurant that did, and as folks moved or sold their business, he's been able just to keep going. And pretty soon he's going to have the whole block. And so those are great opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's called Grill Fresh. So if you like to eat, so it's like a teriyaki bowl, but it's you can either do it with vegetables or you can do it with salad or lettuce, and then they do shrimp. They only have shrimp, chicken, and salmon. I think that's what it is. And then they put fresh fruits and vegetables, and they make up these sauces. That one called EBT. I'm not sure what it stands for, but it's amazing. And it's got a little plantain, so it's got a little Caribbean
started moving. You said plantain. He's ready to go.
Absolutely beautiful. The food is beautiful, and it's just that simple.
Right.
But he wants to open up a location in Lemert, which would be a perfect location. He and his chef, one with the Dorsey, one with the Crenshaw.
Oh, awesome.
It's a young man named is Peace. So go by there and have eat there, and then check it out. But that's what he wants to do.
Right.
That's
those,
good.
and so our certified development companies, again, if you go to SBA.gov and you put in resources, and you can find out our certified development companies are listed on there as a part of it. And so there are several that are located, here in the greater LA area that are designed and just for those, for that real estate.
Right.
And it's not just real estate, quite. It's fixed assets as well.
Right.
So, if it's heavy, if you're into manufacturing, or if you have an auto mechanic shop and you need to buy equipment and machinery, that alone is a great opportunity to buy and own your equipment as well, because that's also key.
Yeah.
Right.
Getting a hold of that equipment that you have,
particularly because now you got an asset.
Because you've got to hold on to that asset, plus you can control your manufacturing.
And see, the next thing about that, Victor, is what these guys don't understand is, let's say you're paying $3,000-4,000 a month for lease.
Yes.
That mortgage could probably be around the same or a little less.
A little less.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, so it could be less than this.
And depending on how you're structured, you can leverage. There's some tax implications and things. I'm not an accountant, but I know that.
And see, that's what you don't have when you lease, right? You don't have and you're not building equity. You're not doing any of that, which is increasing your collateral base as well. So that's why the education to know these are your different options that you have in being in business. It's not just about opening up your door, putting your shingle up, and selling your widget. It's what's the best way to sell your widget that you can leverage to take that widget to the next level.
Right, and don't be afraid to grow into that. So often, when we look at loan packages or folks come to us with their financials, they'll say, "Well, I need $50,000." Knowing that they don't have the cash flow to support that. That's the other piece of it. We want to make sure we put you in a loan that you can actually service.
Right, exactly.
Because you don't want to mess your credit up trying to get a larger amount.
Right.
But you'll be surprised, and if you go ahead and take that lesser amount, you'll be able to grow and build your credit where you can get and graduate to that next level. So you got to start somewhere. So I encourage folks, don't be disappointed if you're not quite at that level where you think you want to be. I mean, you wouldn't go into business if you didn't think you could make it. We understand that, but you've got to grow into it. You've got to plan for, and that's one of the things even with projections when you're starting a new business. You got to be realistic. Life is going to happen.
Exactly.
Something's going to happen.
It will happen.
No matter how you plan. So don't hesitate to be conservative. Lenders are not going to penalize you for being conservative, because then they're going to say, hey, you know what? This person thought this through.
Exactly.
And that means a lot to a banker sitting on the banker side of the house.
Okay.
I got a quick question before we get to the end of this. Patent attorneys, does the SBA have any access to patent attorneys that they can make available to small businesses?
So there are some small business development centers that do have attorneys on staff, and some that are specialized in patents. One of the other things that I would encourage folks to do is that the Trade and Patent Office, the U.S. Trade and Patent Office, they also have resources that they will be able to assist small businesses. So there are certain ones. It's not a part of the SBA, but they do have opportunities where they do try to provide some sense of service for small businesses that are looking at the intellectual property that they have.
Do we have any locally that you know about?
They're expanding, so they don't have. In terms of SBDC, yes.
Yeah,
but in terms of the patent office, the closest one, unfortunately, that I'm aware of is up in Northern California. However, they do have some online services that they will do, and they do some telephone consulting. And we actually have been meeting with him to try to figure out, my colleague from that office, how to get those services down here. So I don't have anything in place yet, but please stay tuned.
Yes.
Because we are talking about trying to figure out a way to either have them here on some type of regular recurring schedule is what I would like to do.
That would be excellent.
To set up to say, okay, on the second Wednesday of every month, you'll be housed at, XYZ location where they can come in and do that.
That would be perfect.
So we're working on that. I'm looking forward to. So the next time I'm on, hint, hint, hint. You guys have way too much fun. I would love to be able to update you on that because it is really important to have that patent.
Oh, for
protect
sure.
yourself. You gotta protect yourself.
You gotta protect
yourself. And many small businesses, they've got great ideas, but they don't know how to protect themselves. So we want to be able to do that. So it's called U.S. Trade and Patent Office.
Correct.
So if I go to the SBA website and type that in, then it may give me
you should be able. I'm not as familiar, unfortunately. I'm not as familiar with the U.S. Trade and Patent Office website, but you should be able to get on their website, and they should be able to give you the guidance.
I'll definitely call them up and talk to them because. I'm doing this out of my thing too.
Yes.
I want to be able to get in there. And I'm just this step close to getting my patent. So I want to get these guys. Yeah, I want these guys to help me out.
Nice.
So now, do you guys do the SBA? Do you guys do like an open house, for a better word, so people will?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so people will come in and see. Because some people are not as research worthy, but they could come in and find out a little bit of what you guys
what the
do.
SBA does.
You guys come out to us and do that, and maybe one of the CBOs as a RBD, we could put together something and just invite people out to.
We would love to do that.
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. One of the things we have done in the past is I did it by congressional district. So I brought in all the chambers of commerce for that congressional district and brought and everybody was in a room.
Yeah.
They could fire questions at me. I can kind of tell them what was the latest and greatest. But I would love to put together having
that would be perfect.
SBA open house.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a great opportunity.
Broadway Federal has been wanting us to do an evening, RBD, to do an evening mixer and have access to their open lobby.
Right.
We used to do that a lot in the past. So Dorsey would love to be able to do that. And I think she's a VDEC, actually.
Okay.
I think they work with them.
Yeah.
So maybe we could put something together, maybe the first of the year. Because I think, again, like I said, our community is about the lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And the SBA is there. They can go online. But when I get there, it's so much information.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
Even today in the atmosphere, what's going on in Washington, how does that affect us? And should I just keep my hands off of the SBA right now because, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Or even when Plum, when we had the open house, look how many people showed up.
Exactly.
But that was just us in the industry.
Sure.
What about having something like that so that we can have that conversation with the people that would take get the most out of this? I
think that would be great. And one of the things, SBA is celebrating its 65th birthday next year.
Oh, wow.
2000, it's been around for 65 years.
Great.
So I think that would be a great.
Okay.
You've just created a job for my office. We're going to pull that together.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a great open house. Happy birthday, SBA, and do that as a part of our SBA
and
Day
then
celebration.
we all could reach out and bring everybody that we know that would benefit from knowing, and it makes our job easier. Because as a coach, my thing is about being able to disseminate information.
Right.
So we're going here and find out everything that the SBA has to offer.
And that's what SBA. I want to be SBA's resource for small businesses. And not just about SBA programs. Everybody's not going to be ready for SBA programs at any given time in their journey. But we want to be a resource. So whether we need to go and talk to a business source center, whether we need to come and speak with you, Crystal, we want to be that resource and have all kinds of avenues and opportunities just to increase the toolkit of that small business.
Right, and we'd love to have you come to RBD for a breakfast mixer and be able to disseminate. Because we have a number of businesses. We had Cherie Franklin, Franklin.
Yeah.
She came out on Tuesday to talk about the new green industry, cannabis industry. Yeah. And I mean, those people were sitting there like, Like she was. She even said, "Wow, this was fun."
Exactly.
She was like she says her business, urban design. People don't even ask her about that. They just call her the cannabis queen.
There you go.
So, but they came and they wanted to know about the information because here is an opportunity for them to be on the front end of an amazing opportunity.
Exactly.
And so they were just like eating it up. So we'd love to have you come in probably at the beginning of the year because we're going to Christmas. I think we're going to have we have a meeting next month and then Christmas. So we can look at the first of the year, which would be a great time.
Perfect.
And you come out and talk. We usually have about 50, 60 people there.
That's nice.
That's good.
And they're all small business owners.
Now, one of the things I want to throw in here, Victor, real quickly, I know that there's been a lot of statistics on small businesses who have obtained funds from the SBA, and we noticed that disproportionately African Americans get a lot less than Latinos or other groups. So is there any system being put in place by the SBA to encourage and foster more African Americans to participate in those programs or get more opportunities? Because something is going on why they're not getting it and all the groups are getting more.
We're finding, you're absolutely right. Those numbers are absolutely horrible in terms of our lending to the African American community. So one of the things that, we're doing a couple things. So number one is we are re-amplifying the microloan opportunities for folks. I think finding additional micro lenders and absolutely amplifying that program. Because again, what I find is that so many businesses in the community really don't need the $500,000 loan.
Right.
They don't need, and so if you go through our microloan program really quickly, it's not with a bank. Our microloan programs are administered through nonprofit intermediaries.
Okay.
And so they're not subject to some of the regulatory constraints that a typical bank would have that makes it a little bit less cost prohibitive for them to be actually able to provide that loan. So that's number one. We're going to increase the micro lending piece of it. We're also going to further amplify that Community Advantage program because that's another great program that we have that's really designed for those smaller loan dollar volume. But the biggest thing, and I would love to have help from both of you, is getting folks to apply. We have because of the statistics, there is this feeling out in the community that there's no need for me to apply for a loan. They're not going to give it to me. We can't fix the problem. I can't do anything if you don't apply.
Which is a great point you brought up, because what we're doing in our launch here in our program, we're getting these businesses ready. So once we get them, then we can connect them with those intermediary lenders. We're helping them to understand what is your quick ratio, what is your working capital ratio, and all of those things. So once they understand current ratio and all of that, understand the balance sheet, the profit and loss, the statement of cash flow, and all of that, we train them. She's doing the QuickBooks piece as well.
Great.
And once we get them into that, then what we want to do is to connect them with these intermediary lenders so they can get the $150,000 or $180,000 or whatever they're looking for.
Exactly.
So maybe together we can work on doing that.
So because we're actually doing we're selecting 15 businesses and getting them certified, minority certified,
and business ready,
and then we can pass them on. But we're taking the initiative to walk with them. It's a mastermind group. So a hand on hand, because sometimes they need a hand on hand.
Exactly.
And then at that point be able to direct them where they need to go.
I would love for you to bring that entire cohort. Bring that whole program, bring them to our office. I will bring the micro lenders and the Community Advantage lenders to the room. And we will sit there and do hand holding, matchmaking them, doing a smooth handoff, and getting them situated so that we can find their best loan program.
That's great.
I would love to do that. You have my commitment.
And it's so excited. I blasted the flyer on Monday. I think Monday at 25 people.
25 already.
25 already.
That's
It's only been like 4 days.
About 4 days. That's awesome.
So that's amazing, Victor. That's amazing. We're going to have some great results for you.
I love that. No, and that's the biggest problem, is that preparation I talked about when I first started this conversation with both of you. It's that preparation. So if you all are helping us with that, it takes a village, right?
It takes a village, and we have to work like that.
Your programs, our resource partners, getting the community prepared, I think that number is going to go up.
Oh,
I mean,
tremendously.
there's obviously tremendous potential,
Yeah.
and I've seen some movement. It
Right.
has moved. It's
I'm
not
very
moving
happy
as
to hear
quickly
that.
as I'd like it
Yes.
to move, but there is some improvement.
Yeah, I'm very happy to hear, because I was a little concerned about those numbers, because when Crystal and I were talking and we got some numbers from somewhere.
No,
and
I went to that first number when we went to the plum thing. It was like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
Exactly.
shocker.
Yeah.
When we started running the data, even,
Yeah.
and I was shocked. I think the agency was shocked. We
Exactly.
did not, we looked at the loan numbers. We really had not broken down that demographic
Right.
study as much,
Yeah.
and we said, wait a minute,
Yeah.
we've got some things we need to fix.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we're well aware of it, and we are working feverishly
Yep.
to get that done.
We will definitely fix that. I guarantee you.
So we got a few minutes left. So can you give us a little update with how Washington is affecting us here in
Washington,
California?
California.
I don't care about the rest of the country. California.
Well, the SBA is actually in a good place.
Oh, good.
It is really in a good place. We are moving forward.
No cut
even
in
from
funding?
Our budget, there's some cuts in funding, but proportionately, our proposed budget is very small.
Okay.
There's a very small cut that they're proposing. There's not going to be losing any employees. We're not going to have a reduction in staff.
Programs.
All those things. And so our programs are still here and vibrant, moving forward. We are very fortunate because we do have leadership. We have our new administrators already in place, our deputy administrators in place, our regional administrator that covers all of California is in place. And so we are really in a good spot because they are here, they are ready, they're rolling up their sleeves, and have been very, very supportive thus far of all the things that we're doing out here. And so it's been a great opportunity because they are new to SBA and they're learning.
Is that the guys I met when I came downtown? Didn't you guys have the meeting that was at the city hall?
Right, and I think, and you met, he stood up. I think it was when he first started, it was Mike Vellante, the regional administrator. And so what the good news is, he's asking a lot of great questions. And so what I've been able to do is taunt all the great work that we've done.
Good.
Taunt about the great things that we're planning to
partnerships.
do. And talk about where we need some help.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
And so they've been very receptive. The administrator personally called and knew that I had some expressions about some of the concerns that were going on and some of the things that we wanted to make sure we maintain for the community and for our small business constituents.
Right.
I've had an opportunity to go to D.C. a few times and actually meet with the leadership. And so I think we're actually in a good spot.
That's good.
Don't worry about all the other things that are going on in Washington.
Right.
SBA is here, and we're here to serve and make sure that our small businesses are growing and thriving and to help our community.
With that being said, I would like you to regurgitate your phone numbers so that these folks know exactly what it is in Glendale. It's
818-552-3201.
There, I got it right. I guessed it.
And Victor, we have just been so pleased with all this, and we definitely will have you back.
I look forward to it. I mean, this is the way I like to spend a Friday afternoon. I can come here. Can I just put my office right here? I'll just bring my laptop. I'm ready to go.
Who knows? We may have lunch before and have dinner after. You
Right.
never know.
Hey,
This is
who
my
knows?
satellite location.
You got some new stuff. Oh wait, can I get in on this conversation?
Exactly.
Because this is how one of the things they said is for us. Dr. Anderson talks about that. Is one of the areas that we need in our community is a media outlet, so that we're disseminating information to our people in a manner that they get it, and we keep reinforcing it, and reinforcing it, and reinforcing it.
That's what we'll do.
And that's what we're doing.
This is
awesome.
Perfect. Well,
thank you for what you all do as well.
Mr. Parker, thank you for being on the Business Zone, sir. And this has been wonderful.
Yes, it has been. Thank you so much. Any parting information, words of wisdom to our business community?
Continue to get prepared, be persistent, and do your research. Keep up with your industry, whatever industry you're in or want to be in. Every morning when you get up, Google that industry, find out what's going on, and keep striving. We're here to grow. We're here to make our community. Small businesses driving our economy forward, and we got to have you. If they're not successful, I'm not successful, so I need you.
And so you guys see, the SBA is a friendly place.
Right, exactly.
They want you to come and visit them.
Exactly.
So don't be afraid of the SBA.
So as you know, the Business Zone is here every Friday from 3 to 5. You've got Crystal and you've got Gilbert Buchanan, small business paramedic. We are here to help you. We are here to assist you, guide you, get you business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. So once we get you ready, we can hand you off to the SBA or the SBA intermediaries so that you can take your small business to the next level. This is what the Business Zone is all about.
It certainly is.
So with that being said,
we're
Crystal,
going to wrap up, and we're going to wish you guys an incredible weekend and a great week. And we will see you next Friday.
Next Friday at 3. This is the Business Zone.
With Crystal.
And Gilbert.
All right, we're out.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.